Welcome to Secondhand Blasters. This is Normatico here, and tonight we are going back in time to when the Z-Strike series was still fresh and new, and everybody discovered their new favorite blaster. I am talking about the ever-versatile Nerf Hammershot. Now, the Nerf Hammershot, it actually came in several different forms. Of course, you had the standard orange, you had the more colorful options that later on came out, and in all, it was a really cool blaster. It was something you could easily dual wield. It was a hammer action, which was really neat, and people loved it. It was a really popular blaster. To this day, the modding community is all about chasing that 100 plus feet per second with a hammer shot. Of those things that recently, Prime Days actually happened early in October, and the one hammer shot that I did not have yet went on sale. And, well, Mrs. Normatico said, hey, you know what? You don't have this one. Let's order it for you. So instead of paying the normal $20 for a hammer shot, we got it for $9, and it is here in their frustration-free packaging. Now, which ones is it? Well, of course, they have the orange one. They have the red one that has the little yellow tick marks that marks your kills. They have what I call the caution tape yellow one. And then they have the slimed green one. Which one is this one? You'll have to see when I open up the box now. We're going to go and switch views and see just what is inside this lovely little frustration-free packaging as I drop it. Whoops. All right, now that I'm not dropping boxes, as you can see, it does say here, made in India. Well, let me see if I can flip that around here. Maybe? Made in India. Fabrique in India. That's my worst French attempt here. So let's get our box cutter here, because I'm trying to save this box. G-Rex has a school project, and he needs cardboard boxes. Which is probably why I'm doing this late at night. The things a parent does for their kid. Dooby-dooby-doo. Dooby-dooby-doo. I will tell you all, if I seem a little bit more hyper than normal, I am on a medical steroid, so I'm kind of stupid right now. Amped up, so to speak. And this just should be able to slide open. Come on, get out of there. Aha. Ooh, it is the slime green one. And of course, inside the box, we have our little instructions for the hammer shot. You know, we can read these later on, but if you don't know how a hammer shot works just by looking at it, I don't know what to tell you. And of course, we get our blaster. And we get 5 darts. Now, this is the one shortfall of the hammer shot, is that it is a 5-shooter. I wish that it would have come standard as a 6-shooter, like, you know, every other revolving blaster does now. But, you know, I guess we have to take what we got. That is a pretty sharp looking design, I'm not gonna lie. I love the zombie blood effect going on here. I love the purple, love the green. This actually looks like something you would see from the Joker, really, but yeah, hey. I love this blaster. This really was one of my favorites. Not the colors necessarily, but just the blaster itself. And of course we have our green Z-Strike Elite darts that are never any good. And even though it's not plastic-free packaging, it's supposed to be frustration-free except for the tape that they put on these things, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, there have been several mods that have come out for the hammer shot. One of my personal favorite ones that I'm still yet to attempt, only because I'm not that great when it comes to sawing off shells, is the one that makes it into a break action so you can actually rear load. But loading it, it's pretty simple. You just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, Later on in the video, I will show you some of the other Hammershots that I have. I do have some cosmetic modifications. I have the one from Worker that actually has the bayoneted blade here for aesthetic purposes. It looks really cool. And I have a couple of ones that I have actually painted and that I have gotten professionally done. So yeah, I have quite the collection of these Hammershots. And some of them have been modded, others have not. I am actually in the process of acquiring the mods to get this one to be, well, something spicy. We're gonna go ahead and actually change views and talk about more with this blaster. Now, about this blaster. Of course, it is the Hammershot. It does have a hammer action. Priming it, it's pretty simple. It's a really easy prime. You just go and you fire. Now, stock, these things can usually run anywhere between 60 to 65 feet per second on average. I have seen some of them go up to 70, but again, it's not the most powerful blaster. It is all about the showmanship. It is about being able to dual wield. It is about that prime. It is fun. This is a tremendous secondary blaster. Of course, if you take this into an HVZ situation, the fact that it is front load, you can actually load up darts off the ground and keep on going, or keep a whole buttload of darts on you, and there you go. You can actually run a decent HVZ with these blasters. They're real simple. The concept to modding them, it's pretty amazing. You actually just take all of these screws apart, and this has a mechanism inside where the spring is just right here. A couple of screws, you pop it out, you can do a spring swap, you can actually add a spring spacer. They sell those for like $2 on Etsy or on eBay, and you get an extra 10 to 15% boost just on that alone. I have seen the modifications where you can actually brass barrel these. It's a 3D printed part, and then you just put brass tubing here, and it adds some more spiciness to it. Speaking of which, there's another modification that allows you to go ahead and complete the seal with the actual air restrictor and the barrel. So it claims that you can get up to 120 feet per second, if not more. I have not tried that one yet, but there is a gentleman that actually specializes in Hammershots. I see him in the Nerf forums, and this guy is amazing. I will put a link to his name in the description when we're done with this video, because I highly recommend getting some of his products. He knows his Hammershots. He has done things where you could actually make this to do a Mega XL. He's had it where it actually shoots Mega darts and everything else. Of course, now you can easily just take this barrel piece off and shoot the half darts with it. That gives you some more versatility, which is really cool. This one we're going to go ahead and actually keep stock for now, only because of the fact that, it's a collecting piece. It's for show. I have an entire pegboard that I could probably decorate with just Hammershots, how many of them I have. So this one will complete the set, so to speak, unless, of course, I buy other ones that have been painted, for grins and giggles. There was a really cool one that was very like Harley Quinn themed that I liked, but yeah, no, I kind of like this. The purple and the green, It's those things. Every Nerf modder out there, they have their color scheme. For example, Drac, he has black and red as his thing. Purple and gold are mine. No gold on this one, but it has a lot of purple, and I dig it. So there we go. Now, up next, we're actually going to run this over the chronograph, and we're going to see just how far it can shoot stock. As for accuracy, well, we'll do a test on that also, but let's be honest here, they're elite darts. They're not going to be that accurate. When I do the test, I'm going to put up the brand new elite darts up against some ruby darts and see, well, which one wins. But now, the chronograph test. a very cold Halloween here in Ohio, and if you can't tell by the weather, a storm is about to come through. That's what it seems like. I've heard that it might snow tonight. Jesus Christ, why am I out here? Anyways, we are here to test the Hammershots. I have the standard one, and I have one that has been modified. As I said earlier, I have one with a physical modification. I believe this one also has a spring spacer inside of it. We're going to test the distance on these things, see how far they can go. We are shooting with the wind, so it might be a little bit skewed. We're going to be doing an angled shot and a straight shot, so let's see how far we go. Unmodified, angled. Not too bad. So that is using standard elite darts. Let's do the modified one. All right. I'm going to do a quick dart recovery, and we're going to see how much each of these got. So, as you can see, we got quite the performance boost when we actually put a spring spacer in here. We went from going 75 feet with an angled shot to over 100 feet, 105 feet with this one. So, definitely get the spring spacers. They're worth it. Only about $5, if that. Okay, so we are in from the cold, and speaking of the cold, let me just tell you something. This is why you do not put up Christmas decorations before Halloween's over. You know who you are! You cause it to snow in Ohio on Halloween! Anyways, we're indoors. We're going to be doing the basket test here. I'm going to be doing an accuracy test with the standard Hammershot. Of those things that I have switched out the elite darts to the ruby darts because, well, we all know what happens with elite darts. They go everywhere. But they intend to target. So we're going to go ahead and actually shoot 10 rounds down this little range here and see just how accurate the Hammershot is at about, I want to say, 25 feet. Normally this is a 30-foot hallway. However, because of the fact that this is a standard Hammershot, and I want to see just how good it can hit that basket, we're going to give it a fighting chance. Now, unfortunately, this is the downside of the Hammershot. Reload, only 5 shots. 1, 2, 3. All 10 shots technically hit the basket. There was one of them that actually went right in the target, which, hey, that rarely happens for me. So usually that basket doesn't allow the flap to go all the way through, but it did this time. So pretty accurate from this distance with those ruby darts. Again, it's not really worth testing with elite darts because, well, I think I might have an elite dart here. No, well, I usually have one at least near me. My camera guy G-Rex just handed me one. This is what happens with elite darts. It actually hit. Color me impressed. Up next, my final thoughts regarding the Hammershot. Okay, so here are my final thoughts regarding the Nerf Zombie Strike Hammershot. To say that this blaster is an icon it is putting it mildly. It's an understatement. This was actually a lot of people's favorite blaster, definitely a favorite secondary, and in some cases a primary because of the fact that you could easily dual wield it with that hammer action. Very modifiable. One of those things that this one is stock, but I do have other ones that have slight mods and others that just have certain little perks to it. It also did spawn a whole series of blasters. Of course, not only do you have the 3 Z-Strike versions, you have the traditional orange, you have the zombie splatter, and of course you have the red, and what I call the construction zone. But you do also have other blasters that were spawned from it. One of the ones that I actually featured earlier on a mod guide on how to do the complete conversion plus the paint job, as well as adding lighting effects using fairy lights, the Doomlands. Now, there's more. You also have more recently the Wild Edition Trailblazer, which I have painted it. I like to call this one the Iron Trailblazer because, you know, the red and the gold Iron Man colors. And the surprise hit of the Alpha Strike line, which is the Hammer Storm. Now, the Hammer Storm, it's one that I want to go ahead and actually feature really quick. I do want to talk about this because it works just like the Hammer Shot. Of course, you have additional dart storage down here. And the modifications on this are just like a Hammer Shot. Some people, they complain about the bulkiness of it, which that's true. You do have 2 tactical rails on here, one on top, one on the bottom. So if you actually wanted to add like a bullpup here, you could. That kind of helps to offset the size of it. But the performance on this one, it is surprisingly strong. A stock Alpha Strike is better than a stock Hammer Shot. So that was surprising because Alpha Strike's supposed to be the cheaper brand. And that being said, it's actually better than its older brother. So do the math. I will tell you, though, that finding a Hammer Storm, it is not the easiest blaster to come by because of the fact that it's Alpha Strike and you can only get those in certain places. I am still actually yet to see this one out in the wild. This one came to me by way of Blaster Barn, and I paid quite a penny for it because I wanted to try out what this blaster was about. I think I paid a total of $20, including shipping. Don't pay $20 for this. This, I think, was maybe $15, unless you really want it. I will tell you that getting a hold of these, Amazon right now, as of me making this video, they have their Hammer Shots for $9. That is fantastic. These are usually in the $19 range, so more than half off. I know that these two are $9. I have not seen this one on Amazon. This one, though, for some reason is still in the $13 range, probably because it's the classic orange. All of these are laid out the same, and if you want to actually take them to the next level, go ahead and slap in the 8.5 kilogram upgrade spring. You can try a spring spacer with that if you want. I will tell you that that makes the prime a little bit stiff for my blood, but it's primable. You know, that's what this one has. And as you can see by the Chronograph test, we did high 80s with this. So also, I want to actually invite you all to check out the Etsy store for Radioactive Designs. They are pretty good with the Hammer Shot. They actually offer a 35 feet per second boost upgrade on top of the springs. So you are going above 100 just with basically a reducer, so to speak, that actually connects the seal morph to the actual barrel itself. And they do also offer the brass tubing upgrade for the rotating barrel. That is in the mail right now. Actually, I'm ordering a couple of those because I want to see how they work, both with the brass and with the standard barrel. I also will tell you that if you want to do a mini dart conversion, a micro dart, a half dart conversion, I would actually recommend looking up SMEnterprises on Etsy. Sam Miller, he actually does some really cool stuff with 3D printed barrels that actually converts it so that it is made for the half darts, and it is a simple swap out. Real easy, not too expensive. It's a great little modification. I am probably actually going to be experimenting on one of those with this one because I have a couple of these. I could probably put up an entire pegboard of just Hammer Shots and Hammer Shot-like blasters. Of course, as a player who likes to play a little bit more on a more serious level, Dart Zone followed up recently with the Dart Zone Max Outlaw, which is a max level hammer action blaster. I did a review on that one the first day it came out, and you know what? A lot of people like that one. That is my go-to secondary blaster during any Nerf event because it gets at least 120 feet per second, and it's just easy that, hey, oh, I got to drop my primary, out comes my secondary, and keep on blasting. Is this blaster fun for an 8-year-old? Well, I wish I had G-Rex here right now because he would tell you absolutely. I can't tell you that during the making of this video, he was actually messing around with this blaster, shooting it all over the place. I will also tell you that the Rebel counterpart, the Sweet Revenge, very much a popular blaster, very popular for people because of the fact that it has the sleek contours, doesn't necessarily have the sharp edges as this one, and I'll be honest with you, guys, don't sleep on the Sweet Revenge. It probably feels more comfortable in your hands than this one does. Mrs. Normatico actually has one. That's the one that's actually hanging up back there that I modified and painted for her. And she actually got to play with it today because she was deciding to say, hey, I need to have something that I can actually mess around with G-Rex with. And she loved the accuracy on it. She was saying that it was surprisingly accurate. So there we go. And that's just shooting the standard elite darts. So I want to actually thank you all for watching Secondhand Blasters. If you have any ideas on ways that I can actually trick out one of these hammer shots, go ahead and leave a comment, give a like, subscribe, because we are really close to hitting that 200 subscriber count. And once we do that, we're going to be launching another one of those giveaway videos where it might be a new inbox blaster or it might be one of my many hammer shots that I have. And I will let you actually decide which one you want. Probably not this one. This one's my pride and joy. Until next time, keep on blasting.